What sort of lifestyle could they afford if they followed your guidelines? Taken over 2 or 3 years even.
Right.
The scope of what would
Again, as we discussed, how do you want to live? Do you want to live in the same sort of grandiose house that you had in California that's $250,000 and your mortgage was pretty high every month, $3,000 or whatever it is, and your interest rate was high?
say they want to live like they said, Richard, I like the way you live. How do you do it?
Right.
What would you say? How do you do it?
You look at the middle class Thai person. What is a middle class teacher? How does a middle class teacher live? How does a middle class government employee work and live? How does the person who is a middle manager at Tesco, how do they live? If you look at the place where I live here, I have middle class managers who are Thai working at Tesco, which is a British run supermarket chain. They are middle class. They rent the place here for 3,000 baht, very nice apartment. They buy brand new cars, they have car payments. They help support mother and father. They live a very good lifestyle. If you as a foreigner want to look at how to live on $1,200 a month, then you would be an upper class, middle class. You would be the top of the middle class. And so you would look at how to live in either an apartment or a townhouse, which is a 2-story type of or rent yourself a house. Again, if you don't speak the language, what do? You better have yourself either a good lady friend, wife, good friend, and that takes time to find. In this culture, it still is difficult to integrate into the middle class of Thai women. You can do it. If you're dating in Asia, you can find women who are educated with jobs and are opening to a relationship because they've had a bad time, let's say, with their Thai husband. So, 2 categories. You're coming here as a man and wife, which is not very many people do that, usually single men. Then I would think you would try to find yourself before you get here. Try to find online services that will direct you where you can converse with women before you get off the plane and really learn about the Thai culture from them, because they understand, the women do, you know nothing about Thailand, and they want you to understand Buddhism or respect for older people or respect for don't touch this and don't be doing that. Learn a little bit before you come. Do your homework and live here. Eventually you will live here as a middle class Thai would, and you would live better. If you I spend around 10,000 baht a month, which is $300.
And that affords you what? In other words, you seem to live an interesting life.
It's comfortable, it's quality. Now, how do you define quality? Quality for me might be different from your quality of life.
Sure.
But for me, this is a quality of life where I have a very comfortable, safe environment. The owner of this apartment is very, very attentive to any sort of a glitch in the electronics or the Wi-Fi or the water supply. It's a quality place. That's $100 a month for a room, big room, I think, with Wi-Fi, bed, closets, kitchen, access to local shopping centers. There are falangs in the area who are teachers, so you have somebody to communicate with if you need to. I don't buy a car. I have a motor scooter. At 70, I still feel comfortable because I ride a bicycle. So motor scooter is still in my balance. You can buy good secondhand cars here for $3,000 if you take your time and look around. You don't have to buy a brand new $20,000 pickup truck. Again, if your wife puts you in that direction, you think, do I need to have this type of vehicle, or is it for her status and her place in the community, which is a lot of with Thai culture. It's status and who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So you try to look at how to live a quality of life on the money you have. My money from Social Security is only $600. I obviously didn't work enough to get enough of the benefit that the $1,200. So I live according to what I need to live, and a little bit extra to travel once in a while to out of the country locally, Laos or Myanmar, Burma, and a little bit saved in case of with emergencies, teeth problems, or medical's fine here. I wouldn't think people have to have all these insurances. It takes time to go to government hospital. Even private hospitals are reasonable, quality if you need it, and everybody worries about medical. I don't have any insurance. I never had any medical insurance in my life. But I know how I have to live to keep myself aware of my health, so I don't need to be aware of medical problems all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.